The current status and timeline of the India-UK Free Trade Agreement, FTA, negotiations, which are expected to be closed by March 2023, are as follows. The UK and India launched formal FTA negotiations in May 2022, after agreeing on an Enhanced Trade Partnership, ETP, that included a roadmap for a comprehensive trade deal. The two countries have held 7 rounds of talks so far, with the latest one concluding on February 10, 2023. They have closed the majority of chapters, covering areas such as goods, services, investment, intellectual property rights, digital trade, and sustainable development. However, some key issues remain unresolved, such as market access for agricultural products, rules of origin, data protection, and mobility of professionals. India has been seeking greater access to the UK for its skilled workers and students, while the UK has been pushing for lower tariffs and non-tariff barriers on its exports of cars, whiskey, and cheese. The UK has said it will only sign the deal once it is happy that it is fair and reciprocal, and that it serves the best interests of the British people and the economy. India has also stressed that it will not compromise on its core interests and sensitivities. Both sides have expressed their commitment to conclude the FTA by the end of 2023, but they have also indicated different expectations for the timeline. The UK had hoped to complete the deal by Diwali in October 2022, but India said it was aiming for the end of the year. The latest joint statement said they will hold the next round of talks shortly and work towards an early conclusion. The potential benefits and challenges of the FTA for both countries. A free trade agreement between the UK and India could bring significant economic gains for both countries, as they seek to deepen their trade and investment ties in the post-Brexit and post-pandemic era. The UK and India have set an ambitious target of more than doubling their bilateral trade by 2030, and have launched an enhanced trade partnership to remove trade barriers and pave the way for a comprehensive FTA. For the UK, a trade deal with India could open up new opportunities in a large and fast-growing market, where it currently faces high tariffs and non-tariff barriers. According to the UK government, a deal could potentially lower or remove tariffs on British products such as whiskey, premium cars, and legal services, which currently face tariffs of up to 150%, 125%, and 35% respectively. A deal could also give UK firms a first-mover competitive advantage over other exporters that do not have preferential access to the Indian market. India is forecast to become the world's third-largest import market by 2050, and its demand for business, telecommunications, and computer services, sectors where UK firms already perform well, is expected to treble over the course of the 2020s. For India, a trade deal with the UK could boost its exports and attract more investments from a key partner. India has been pursuing a policy of self-reliance and export-led growth, and aims to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. A deal could help India diversify its export markets and reduce its dependence on China and the US. It could also help India access advanced technologies and innovation from the UK, especially in areas such as clean energy, healthcare, education, and digital services. A deal could also support India's hopes to become a bigger exporter of textiles, pharmaceuticals, agricultural products, and IT services. However, a trade deal between the UK and India also faces some challenges and trade-offs. Both countries have different priorities and sensitivities that need to be balanced. For instance, the UK may seek greater market access for its agricultural products, such as dairy and meat, which could face resistance from India due to religious and cultural factors. Similarly, India may seek greater mobility for its skilled workers and students, which could raise concerns in the UK over immigration and security issues. Both countries may also have different standards and regulations on environmental, labor and human rights issues that need to be harmonized. Moreover, a trade deal between the UK and India could also expose both countries to increased competition from each other's firms. For example, the UK's business services sector, which accounts for 80% of its economy, could face competition from lower-cost Indian rivals that offer similar or better quality services. Likewise, India's manufacturing sector, which employs millions of workers, could face competition from more efficient and innovative UK firms that produce higher-value goods. Therefore, both countries need to ensure that a trade deal is fair and inclusive, and that it supports their domestic industries and workers to adapt to the changing global market. One of the most contentious issues in the FTA talks between India and the UK is the role of immigration and visas. India is keen to get more access for its citizens to the UK, especially for young professionals, students and tourists. The UK, on the other hand, is willing to make concessions in some sectors like IT where it faces a shortage of skilled workers, but is also concerned about illegal migration and abuse of the system. India has long demanded a more liberal visa regime from the UK, which it sees as a key partner in trade, investment and education. India is projected to become the world's third-largest economy by 2050, and a free trade agreement with the UK could open up huge opportunities for both countries. However, India also wants to ensure that its people can benefit from the enhanced mobility and exchange of ideas that such a deal would entail. The UK, meanwhile, is looking to diversify its trade relations after leaving the EU and sees India as a strategic ally in the Indo-Pacific region. The UK also recognizes the potential of India's growing market and talent pool, especially in sectors like technology, digital services and healthcare. However, the UK also has a strict immigration policy that aims to attract the best and brightest talent while stopping the abuse of the system and speeding up the removal of those who have no right to be in the UK. The two countries have made some progress on this issue in recent years. In 2021, they signed a Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement, which allowed young British and Indian nationals to work and live in each other's countries for up to 2 years. The agreement also enhanced cooperation on tackling illegal migration and organized immigration crime. In 2022, the UK announced plans to relax immigration rules by offering cheaper and easier visas for Indian tourists, students and professionals, in an attempt to clinch a trade deal with India. However, there are still challenges and gaps that need to be addressed. For instance, India wants a lower salary or skill threshold for its nationals who want to work in the UK, while the UK wants more assurances on the return of illegal migrants from India. India also wants more recognition of its qualifications and standards in the UK, while the UK wants more access to India's services sector and agricultural market. The FTA talks between India and the UK are expected to be launched early next year and will cover a wide range of areas, including goods, services, investment, digital trade and intellectual property rights. However, immigration and visas will remain a key sticking point that will require compromise and creativity from both sides. The outcome of this issue will have a significant impact on the future of bilateral relations between two countries that share a long history, a common language and a vibrant diaspora.